It's been signed, I think some of
The resolution, good to you? Yeah. We're ready to go with it.
It came out of our joint committee meeting with
it.
rest of the commission agreed.
Let's do this.
Yes, sir.
And we brought the school board on board.
You gonna carry that with you?
You'll be able to carry that with us to the land. Yes, ma'am, I'll sign it tonight. Sure will.
We'll approve them tonight and move our.
And while we on this issue of the overpass, somewhere back in Mr. Sears said something to the effect that they was already, some years ago, he said commissioners had proposed to overpass or something to that effect. If my memory serves me correctly, back in the early 70s, 80s, maybe early 80s, I can't remember. Did you ever find any, or you probably ain't had time to look?
Yes, sir, I have.
I thought I
We're
understood.
talking about the bypass issue.
Yeah, that's what I understood.
They was overpass too. If my memory serves me correctly, they was
But it was
funds.
pertaining to the bypass, is what he said.
Oh, he's talking about the bypass, okay,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yes.
They was some funds in one of the early SPOS tax. Both the city and county governments agreed to put so much money, but I don't remember, I just vaguely remember it. It had to be in there. When was the first, does anybody know when the first SPOS tax was? Maybe it was in the same one.
88.
88 was the first one.
He's the one been around here since creation.
Hey, but I can't remember everything that's been on this go, but
Where did the funds go?
Right.
To the side.
it
Since
was.
creation.
That's right.
That was from, that was just.
But I don't.
It was 84, I believe, Chairman, was the first.
Do we still
slot
have
tax.
that, do we still have that outline of that 84?
Please don't bring that up. That's like an old girlfriend, it's got all.
Well, I might have to go home and dig up all my newspaper articles.
Unfortunately, we have to keep those records for a lifetime. We were
Well,
just clerking, I digging
I
for
just-
something today. Her were more so than me.
Yeah. But anyhow,
The first lost, I think, was 84.
it's a bad feeling, and I had to witness this myself some months back. I went to, I won't say this, all this pertaining to this overpass. I went to the overpass, to the Carswell Avenue, very seldom I get across the railroad tracks. I live in Fairmont. So I said, well, I go to Albany Avenue because the train was coming in, it would stop. Went to Albany, it was plugged. Went to Genoa Street, blocked. Went to Glacier Avenue, stopped. Went all the way down there to Wake Corner Drive, in the rear end of that train, was just past Wake Corner Drive. Well, here's the bad part. There was an ambulance coming from Bacon County. Cut off from Alma, coming to Waycross, they come through Jamestown. Quick shot to the hospital. Well, they knew, thank God, they knew how to turn on Blackshear Avenue and go to Corners E.
I wish we could get an aerial shot of all that when that takes place.
Present it to somebody.
Present it to the
railroad.
Okay.
And thank God
State
for the
Attorney
railroad.
General.
Thank God for the railroad and all the jobs. We need the railroad, but we got to do something. There's the director and his, well, the chief.
We need a better partnership with the
Tell you,
railroad.
chief, right, he'd tell you, y'all run into that, ain't you, chief?
We need a better partnership than I do.
Yeah. But anyhow, so much for that.
They need to continue being a good neighbor.
And okay, let's place that on the agenda.
There you go.
Simple fees.
Request to approve purchase of pump under tab B commercial. Public Works is right here.
Funds to do it and
Yeah.
costs.
You say you got to have it, Mike?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's part of their equipment allotment, and it will come under that heading. This is something that we're gonna dig catch, we got to have.
Sure.
Do it.
Okay,
It's
good.
new and it's not,
Send it
not
to-
refurbished.
Brand spanking.
For the difference in-
Warranty, oil indicator shut off. whole 9 yards.
All right.
All the bells and whistles.
Well, there's all the necessary things to keep it from blowing up.
Well, we
like
know,
sitting
we
out
know
there
y'all
running.
looked at it thoroughly. We know you have.
And that's the lowest bid too. That bid's from 17,598 to 14.
Don't have that.
Don't worry about that.
Good thing from China.
We'll put it on the insurance.
And build them in Jacksonville.
That's good. Very good.
Okay, item 6. Okefenokee Regional Library.
This is an informational piece that was put together. Facilities has been going through several scenarios with the operators at the Okefenokee Regional Library about what we can do. You know, that was built under the 98 clock. It seems like you look at 98, you got 2008, you got 2018, so you got a 20-year-old boiler chiller system that's been very volatile. Would like to go back heat pump, but it's just not feasible, and there's been a lot of advances in boiler chiller, efficiency-wise, operational-wise, and this is just a scenario to ask you if we can make a commitment to the regional library to do this scenario, or potentially do it if they get budgeted, and our funding would be 100 to 125 under this scenario. Obviously, it's a $300,000, but they're trying to get a state grant. That would help with the mind share. The regional library would kick in a certain amount of funding also, and then our part of the $300,000 deal would basically be a third of it, 33%. But it comes with the state grant funding and the regional library funding. And like I said, that he wrestles with it, you know, every major weather swing, he wrestles with getting it right.
Getting the fluctuations.
That's
in
right.
temperatures and stuff.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's fine. I mean, that's good. I'm glad they're gonna try to get the grant.
And it'll be a couple years down the road, probably, you see FY 2016 to 2017 before it would hit, be budgeted, designed, and installed, so we've got some time, but we need to keep it out there.
Yeah.
So we don't need to take no action on this?
No, sir, this is just a scenario that if we come up and need the money,
Yeah.
where we've made a commitment to them that, yes, we will participate if all these things fall in place.
Right.
We definitely want to do
I
it.
think we agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, on number 7,
Yes, sir.
I would like to suggest that we not act on that until we can discuss this further in our February retreat meeting.
I
We can
concur
get her more
with that.
information
Y'all
on
okay
it.
with that?
I concur with that.
All right.
So you want this information moved to the February retreat?
That's right.
Okay.
And I might add the section 18-3 on the mobile home decal required also. I could do some research of our own. If we could do that, I think it would be,
Commissioners, y'all okay with moving that one too?
I am.
Carter? Commissioner Elson, excuse me, please forgive me.
Okay. Madam Clerk, just leave that alone. So we can look for Commissioner's items, so begin with Commissioner Nelson.
I don't have anything, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Nelson?
Yes, sir, I have a request, the new parking lots that were coming by way of the hospital being dismantled, the place downtown where the voting registrar's office. We got several properties that's going to have parking lots, and I'd like for us to place some of these signs in those parking lots. It will be next to the,
I think it's more.
Right by the handicap.
right next to the
Next
handicap.
to the handicap.
And,
Great idea.
we would need a sort of an honor system, because nobody that's combat wounded is gonna carry around his Purple Heart in his wallet.
Yeah.
So it would be an honorary type thing.
Well, a lot of them got tag.
Yeah, some do, yeah, right. But, you wouldn't want somebody to park their mobile home there and, just, you know, I'm a combat wounded veteran, and I can stay here as long as I want. So you need to have some kind of time limits on it to avoid any problems.
Yeah, I like
But,
I think most of those folks would be.
the,
they'd be honorable.
Wounded Warrior, system supplies these signs.
Oh, they'll supply
They
them
will
free of
supply.
charge?
They ask that you pay for the, shipping and handling to, cover
Cheap.
Actually, that's
expense.
part of my donations that I give them.
And, so the cost of it would be negligible. I mean, it would come under Paul's,
That's minimal.
Some kind of required, is there any
Yeah.
kind of, I guess they are, how many
You just need.
parking spots, you got handicapped, then you have some of these.
Yeah,
What's-
there's
Is there a limitation of how many you can have on them?
I'd have almost everyone, almost all of your development, requirements for commercial or whatever government parking have some number per occupants. You just have to do the math on it.
Yeah.
and we'd also have to get together and find out how many we needed.
I think, it's a good idea. You just need to do some homework and find out how to implement.
I'm sure the city
That's-
probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to ask, if I have this commission's approval to approach the city with it, order them all together.
Yes, sir.
By all means.
I'm gonna be able to go to
I'm
the
good
city's
with that.
meeting
I like
in, February, but it'll have to be March at earliest before I'll be able to. But still, there's no rush and,
I think it's wonderful.
but, I think it's something we could do
I like it.
to honor our combat wounded veterans. And it's not, they don't have to be, handicapped. It doesn't say that they have to be disabled to park there. Just
Yeah, even if
call
it's-
it.
even if it's
But our attorney there will
two of them.
Yeah.
come up with a,
Gotta be wounded.
Only you would come up with that. No one over
There's some truth to that.
And that just physical, PTSD, whatever.
I think y'all should.
You got signs up for that.
Show me where you were wounded.
Yes, sir. Mr. Ross.
It's a good one, and I've done spoke briefly with Paul about it. The closing of Hop Creek Bridge on the Beacon Highway. Understand that it has to be done. We don't monitor our bridge safety, DOT does, so it's their call. And mainly, I want Ms. Myers. We need to get something in the paper.
Already did.
Yeah. Oh, I know about the bridge being closed, everybody read that. You did a good job. Now you need to do a follow-up. And his statement from Paul, we will at some point develop a timeline, but we can't do that yet. Is that correct, Mr. Manager?
Hopefully we might be able to try something out of it whenever we go to
The county
Atlanta.
was instructed by
The
the DOT.
state bridge inspector
Right.
deemed it unsafe.
Right.
So they probably would have no choice but to close it.
I handed all commissioners,
Read that.
that and the title applicable information, but we've got the structure ID number, also the closure. It was previously posted already. It's, structure ID number 299-003660. It was already limited, but,
Did they talk with you about how they're gonna work on some pilings, replace the bridge, what are they gonna do?
we had one that was closed in that community one time, and we were allowed, it is a lot lesser structure. It's been replaced since then under the federal program. They will pay 100% of the engineering and cost for that. We just had to do a little bit of right-of-way acquisition and utility relocation on the new Bickley Bridge at Purdy Lee Road. but it is a program, it's a process. I don't know where it is, but I've talked with the district construction engineer at length about it. This, as I know it's a shock to the Bickley community, but it comes out of the blue to us too. And, you know, I'll be glad to speak with Ms. Thrift about it at your request, but I'll just give you the buzzwords in the letter from the state maintenance engineer. Failure to properly close this structure will result in your county being reported as non-compliant, which could cost you a loss of federal funding, which is what replaces these bridges. They're old federal aid projects.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to jeopardize that.
Well, I'm just telling you what the gravity of the situation for not properly doing it. I got a call from the road superintendent Saturday that said that some people had been out tampering with the heavy concrete barricades
So you do.
in the approaches of that facility that are used illegally. You have to do it in compliance with the law. That there was some tampering going on. He sent forces up there to correct the tampering, but I just will go on record to say is you're jeopardizing your friends and neighbors and loved ones when you act in that manner. You know, we don't know who it is, obviously, but if there's an applicable statute for punishment, it will be applied if you tamper with those barricades to get a quick fix for your community. And that comes under the law enforcement umbrella. We can't enforce law, we can impose law, but we're not authorized to enforce those laws. But long story short is, you're jeopardizing your friends and loved ones in their community because they're serious about this. A gross failure can happen when these pilings and their timber piles are in deplorable state, and that's what's happened here.
And the islands are giving way on.
Oh, is that a typical form letter that the DOT sends out about the failure to do so? That's not something they just said to us, hey, if you.
Every county in
That's just a
America.
typical form letter.
Yes, sir.
They send that.
Every county in Georgia would get the same letter with the applicable structure, no
Okay.
different.
We're not being picked on.
No, sir.
This is,
No. We're being looked after, they're taking care,
That's right.
and as they said earlier in our meeting today about safety and public safety, we're dead serious about this. Our road superintendent's dead serious about it. He was, upon notification, he knows from our office that the response needs to be immediately, if not sooner, as quick as you can get your stuff together to close these bridges. We've done one in Camp Branch, on Camp Branch in the Manor community. But long story short is, these are dangerous bridges. They don't do this for tampering. They do it and they inspect them every 2 years, and it's of critical importance that you observe the fact that this bridge is closed, and it's closed for a reason. They may drive across it 18 more years, but we're not toying with that and the taxpayer's liability on it. And the last thing we want to do is see some loved one or community member down in Hog Creek.
Thank you very much.
And so it is of great gravity that we do it. Yes, it is a very big inconvenience, but not nearly as big as the person we just put on the health board going to see them, Mr. Music. That's not what we want. And so it is, like I said, it's unfortunate. We will work diligently with DOT to see what we can do. We're going up to meet with some of that membership and some of our legislative membership Wednesday, and we will talk to them and see what we can do to expedite it. But it is a tedious process to get federal dollars.
And we appreciate them looking after our
Like I said,
welfare.
And we desire that the communities involved, you know, be understanding and be sympathetic. I mean, it's not anything that we can come up with a quick fix. I've been asked, well, can't y'all do a run around? But that's not
That's the same
possible.
thing.
The structure's 240 foot long.
The alternate routes are, unfortunately, they're long. If you're in the big community, you got to go out to US 1, or you can take some dirt roads and come back through the Highway 158, if you're on the north side of it.
Beach Highway, Old
Beach
Nichols Highway.
Nichols Highway.
There's some little minor dirt roads and stuff of that nature here and there that you can do a little bit with, but not
Well, they
much.
jump on it, they'll knock it out pretty quickly.
Once we get the process, that's what most of the calls that I feel that are, you know. And all I can tell them is, we were just notified a day before you were, before the paper notified us, so give us some time.
And the next day, we all got it. So that evening.
Well, Michael knows the drill of Public Works, and I think it was the drill prior to me being in the position. When we get these type of notifications, we start gathering our forces to get them closed as quickly as
And
possible.
you did, I seen them headed that way the same.
And we
day.
notify the public, you know, outlets and the media, and all public safety's aware of it. They know if they've got the route around. Chairman got the call about, well, what do we do about a volunteer fire service? Well, we've got mutual aid agreements and stuff of that nature. The fire departments are automatically aware of that. EMS is aware of it, sheriff's office, everybody's aware of it. So alternate arrangements start getting made for responses and
You know
stuff
what
of
you
that
do
nature.
before the road. Take on
You know, it makes response time probably 3 times as long.
Did that, and this is just a question, mostly to Michael. What kind of effect did that have on the transportation, school bus transportation?
I spoke with, well, Dee left earlier, but I spoke with Joe about that the day that I got the call. I called him that afternoon. Basically, they'll just reroute and bring their bus in off the Old Nichols Highway. They run, I think it's 3 buses up there every day anyway. They just shifted people around.
Yeah,
The mail carrier was the biggest thing.
You've had one call?
I've had one call today, said, well, what we gonna do about fire protection? The fire station's across the creek, we over here on the left. I said, public safety is aware of that, and they'll do the best. I don't have a solution. How long is the bridge gonna be? I said, I have no idea. But hopefully we'll have some more pinpointed info in the next 2 or 3 days, and the manager will make all of us aware of it.
Well, I've been in touch with the district construction engineer, and, you know, we're looking at if we can punch through the deck and put some pilings that will shore it up, so to speak, or if that's just, you know, not a good suggestion or what. We did that on the bridge that was replaced at the Purdy Lee Road. We drilled, we opened the deck up, we drove, we put helper vents in, and that satisfied the opening. That's probably what the people are thinking that we can do, but looking at this information, it looks like we've got some challenges with this bridge, and that may not be doable on this one. It may be full replacement.
Okay? Now, Mr. Manager, I think it's your time.
Well, that's one of the major
Yes, sir.
notifications. The other one is the title of ad valorem tax, increase in the state's portion, and it looks like we're going to have a shortfall. We will be discussing that with the legislative delegation. That's, you know, the true up between the school board, the city, and us originally, the true up was projected off one of the lowest revenue times that we've ever had. And that was our true up. Now that's not even true. And they're basing this off some of the larger, it's much like when they did away with the governor's homestead exemption when Governor Perdue was in. I heard the story, it made you sick. But they based it off all of Georgia. And some counties have multiple funding sources. And I'm just going to say they've got their challenges with everything when it comes to challenges. But long story short is they base the revenue projections off the digest of all of Georgia as an aggregate.
Should have been done by regions.
And they turned around, well, we got a regional commission for some reason. If we're not regionalized and we do districts by some and elected by some. But long story short is they threw it all in the pot, they got an average increase in digest per year, and it was not outpacing the states at the time. So that's the reason why they did away with the governor's homestead exemption in a nutshell. Well, it sounds like to me, that's exactly what they're doing on Tile Lab and Laurel. Some counties have really, I guarantee you, all the metro areas with a lot of dealerships have done very, very, very well and outpaced us. But long story short is, here we come back to about the same premise.
With $60 million, they fixing to move out of local government to the state, whatever it is now.
How much?
I think.
Sounds like a train robbery to me.
I think it's $60 million is
The true.
what the true up is, and, so.
I wrote something about that. Great train robbery.
Well, anyway, it's,
I mean, that, I may, you know, Miss Meyer don't quote me on that, but I mean, I think I saw a blurb on it, and, but it's, the true up's a pretty big number, it's all cost.
so, it's, you know, it's another one of those, you know, the math equation may not be the best equation that we can look at, or, in our opinion, you know, it may not hurt the bigger metro counties that bad.
hurt the small ones.
It will. And we're probably one of the fortunate smaller counties because we do have a fair number of dealerships and larger dealerships in our community, but the Tile Lab and Laurel tax goes back to the whole county no matter where you buy it from. Or that's my understanding.
Who tracked that?
According to
Goes
this.
to the Department of Revenue.
Yeah.
This was sent out from the Department of Revenue. But anyway, it's another challenge. Our lost and slost is already down, as you see in the summary data that you're getting. And that's some of the stuff that I was trying to carry to the legislature. Anyway, carrying on, we've got employee requisition for tax assessors, public works, EMS, 911, and IT, all funded positions that we need to replace. Also,
Y'all budgeted positions.
yes, sir,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
and
Money will come in.
Yes.
under the tab, if you want to get back into the fire, tanker, knocker business, yes, we made a decision to buy those trucks. I think it would have been crazy not to at the last minute, right around and approaching Christmas during that season. I think all said and done, as Chris reported right, travel, gas, everything, plane tickets to get out to San Antonio and bring back 8 tankers. I think we've got $6,000, and every sticker on that truck was 162,000 plus. And all of them have 25,000 miles or less, and you know on the Freightliner diesel, that's not even broke in
That's
good.
not even.
Brand new tires, everything. It was a great find. Georgia Forestry Commission in partnership with their vet guy. He vets all the stuff, and
That's great.
I mean, even if we turned, one of them was good, we came out great. If one of them was good, it was crazy not to pursue it. We had planned on that during the 14 SPLOST to buy these equipment. Now we're getting what I call slash equipment. They're building tankers and knockers together. Just a pure tanker, you know, and I was 175 plus north of 175. We should come out with 6. We're partnering with Georgia Department of Corrections to build the tanks. And we should come out, if you'll look on your spreadsheet here, 6 tanker slash knockers, kind of a model off of Georgia Forestry Commission. We're gonna help some people here in our community big time with ISO. Big time with ISO. To go from a 10 to a 9 is one of the strategies of the fire crews is 25% savings off the bottom line for your homeowner's insurance, just that one booth.
Tell
But,
my agent that.
sir,
You call my agent, let him know that.
and anyway, what we're requesting here is to spec these trucks out as stated in this cost estimate here. This is 6 trucks for $162,000. We wind up with 6 trucks that would easily, we wound up with $1 million worth of trucks to start with for $6,000. And long story short is for $162,000, we can spec out and build 6 trucks for what it, less than it cost us just to have a tanker. Not an octar, but a tanker.
We had a good Christmas, didn't we?
Well, they, like I said, they identified the truck, and it was like one of those calls, when they called me, I said, it's a no-brainer, you know, head to San Antonio and get them. It's way under my amount to authorize, but it's just a
Good call
no-brainer.
on everybody's part.
And the thing about it is I was sending you all that information when I came back from New Year's vacation, and I came in and my email was corrupt, and I had several email issues, but long story short is, Miss Three, I beat you to it, because
Wait a minute.
you know, you give her
Those
stuff.
kind of words. We got community activists in here.
But anyway, long story short is, it was a great, like you said, Christmas find.
Anyone's a day.
It's,
Lisa, you can clean that up when you.
with your authorization though, we will pursue meeting all our bid requirements and all that, but long story short is, we will pursue building out these 6 vehicles. Side note, identified another $100 piece of equipment, but only in Albany, Georgia.
You better do
250, they're already here. 250
Now you're gonna get
KVA
permission.
generators. One of the trucks have a mobile generation unit on it, where you can go around on this Freightliner truck. You've got the big generator on the back, big cat engine generator, and you've got on-site power for whatever you need. We could back up a
That's
fire
$100
station.
deal too.
Wow. You get that
Well,
off.
100 for the truck and 100 for the generator. But anyway, we got 3 of them. One of them may be a little damaged. We could use it for parts. We may have spent a bad $100 plus the mobilization for Michael's crew to go to Albany to pick it up. So
Did you get that Marine Logistics place there?
we got the generators. They went over to,
You don't have to give us your source, you can just.
no, sir, I mean, it's a federal military surplus is what
Yeah,
it
that's what I'm
is.
saying.
For $100, I want to call it Moultrie, but not Moultrie, it's, Albany, excuse me.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the Marine Logistics place.
We got 3 generators that we can just basically light up the world with.
You got
And then one
gotta
of
build
the
a cellar,
trucks, they're gonna slip up under where they can transport their bigger tanker.
Hey, okay.